Okay, curriculum developers, as promised, I'm just going to show you how to install desktop Google Drive, and I will attempt to explain why it is such an important resource to have for you and all your teachers. Open up your Google Drive in the browser and click Connect Desktop Google Drive. And it'll prompt you to download Drive for your PC. So click that and follow the prompts. I'll do it now. So onto my desktop, I'll download the app. I'll then install it by double clicking. I'm just waiting for it to kick into action. Now, sometimes it just appears and gives you the option to log in. I'll give it another minute or so. I can't see it anyway. Okay, if you've got to activate it, just go to your Start and All Programs, work your way down to Google Drive and click it. At some point, the application opens. It'll ask you to log in, which it's doing for me now. So you type in your have I spelled that right? Yep. Okay, so I'm now logging into Google. Now, word of warning, if your password up at Google is not 8 characters or longer, and that happens because we're using single sign-on, some of you have gotten away with passwords that are shorter than 8. So single sign-on kicks in. I'll just log in quickly. Okay, so I'm now logging into this computer, into Google Drive on my desktop. I might as well send crash reports to Google, so I'll click that box. I'm now going to start my sync, and you'll see what happens. It opens up a folder and now starts to pull down into it or sync onto my desktop all the folders I currently have up in Google Drive, which previously I've only been able to access via my browser. Very shortly, it's going to be available to me on my desktop. Now, on the bottom right, you can see it trying to sync. If you look at the bottom right of your screen and the symbol isn't bright, if it's dull, it often means you've got to go to Programs, open Google Drive, and log in. It means that you've gone out of sync. So when you install Google Drive for desktop, it is quite important that you check that you've got that little symbol and it is in full color and not dull. Let's just give this another minute. Okay, so you give it a while now. I've got 6,000 files or something, so giving it a while is quite a while for me, but as you can see now, it's synced everything that's up on my Google Drive onto my desktop. And let me just show you why this is significant. If I open up this folder and I create, if I right click and I go new folder, and I'll call this test upload. So I'm just creating folders exactly as I would on my computer or my network. Notice what happens over here. It is mimicking what I'm doing here on my desktop. It's doing in real time over here in my browser. Okay, big deal you may say. Well, the really big deal is this. Because it is now just another drive on my desktop, let's open that folder up. I can now just start to drag things in. So there's an Excel file. There is there's a PDF. See if I've got any Word documents on my desktop. I don't, so let me just make one. And I'll go File, Save As, and I'll just browse to my Google Drive now. Just like I'm browsing to a network folder, I'm going to find the folder starting with the zeros. There's my test upload. This is a test, and I'm going to hit Save. So let me close the document. Now here it is saving here, and I should see it at some point. So it's synced. I can see all the ticks, and I can see it over here in my browser. Now, what is the point? If I was just operating in my browser, how do I get a Word document that I've created up into Google Drive? I'd have to go upload. I'd have to go and find the file by searching my laptop. Then I'd have to say don't convert, and I'd have to move it up into Google Drive. So that's okay. But if you've got lots and lots of files to move across, for example, worksheets that you've done in Word or old PowerPoint you don't want to lose, but you still want to store them on Google Drive, you still want to share them to your students, well, you've now got this drag and drop facility. Now, best of all, when you go to reuse it, if I'm operating just in browser Google Drive, let me get these looking the same very quickly. Right, yeah, so that's giving me my folder view. Let's go over to here. Here is my folder view. If I'm operating in browser Google Drive and I want to open a Word document, I've got to click it once, and sure enough, it opens, and I get to see the contents of the file. But as you know, I'm just getting a read-only version of it. And the moment I click on download, I end up with a second copy of the file because it downloads a copy. Okay, if I'm using desktop Google Drive, when I go to that same document, so it's in test upload, and here it is, this is a test. When I click on it, it actually opens in Word. And then I can work on it. So let me insert a table quickly. So here's one of the things you can't do in the browser just yet. A heading, and I will go back to home and center it. Okay, I've saved it, and I'm going to close it. Now you're going to see this thing syncing, and when it finishes syncing, I'll have the up-to-date version in my browser. So it's got a tick here. If I click it now, oh, sorry, it hasn't finished syncing. You can tell because you see this. It's telling me that either the document's open or it hasn't finished syncing. Let me just refresh this to see if we can get that to disappear. No, maybe it is open. Oh, that's a bit embarrassing. So my document isn't open, but it's telling me that it is. Aha, there it is with the changes that I've just made. So let me close out of it again. Now, I'm not sure if I've explained this all that well, but having a desktop Google Drive gives you a lot of power. You can move stuff into it. You can edit your Word documents and your PowerPoints on the fly if you're operating on a computer that has the source software used to create these documents. Now, it lets you do things like move other types of files and videos and all sorts of things into your Google Drive, and it does it without conversion. So, you know, it's just a USB stick. I do understand that you can do the same thing over here. I could have gone File and then uploaded and done exactly the same thing, picked up those files, but you will find that this is a much faster way to transfer existing documents into your browser. Now, I will make this point. If you're working in browser Google Drive and you're creating Google documents like this, it will use up zero space. Google does not count any of its native docs towards your space allocation. The moment you start uploading Word documents, PowerPoint, spreadsheets, images, videos, your space is going to start getting used up. So the demonstration is done. I'm going to go back a level here. I'm going to click on that whole test upload folder and I'm going to delete it because I don't really want it using up my space. Let's hope that this will sync. Let's have a look. I'll go to 000 or multiple zeros as it were. Open the folder. Is test upload gone? Yes, it has. So it has synced and it's got rid of the files. Okay, that is desktop Google Drive. Good luck.